Welcome back to the Cox Sports Report. 54-0. That was the score 2 years ago when Lake Taylor took on Phoebus in the playoffs, and Phoebus came away with that thrashing, the worst loss in their playoff history. You think some of those players remember that game? 2 years later, they're taking on the Titans in action in this one, and they certainly want revenge for that loss. As we take you to the field, and Matt, Lake Taylor, a budding superpower here in the area. Can they get the matchup they want today?
Well, ranked #1 in the state in Group 4A by VirginiaPreps.com, and again, 2 years ago a state title, but not a good start for Hank Sawyer's team as they fumble the ball away out of the gate. Chris Wilson with the recovery, and the visiting Phantoms starting to celebrate a little early.
Yeah, the early going, it looked like it was going to be all Phoebus, as going deep down the field looking for Elijah Nelson. The 6'2" wide receiver shows off his impressive frame and hands with that catch inside Lake Taylor territory.
A pleasant addition for Coach Jeremy Blunt from Florida, but you see that Lake Taylor defense just throwing guys down. Linebacker Anthony Yancey, he had 5 tackles for loss in the first quarter. There's one of them along with Marquise Poole as the two team up to knock down Jonathan Kraft, and Kraft's going to get pressure again, but this time he's able to complete the deep ball for a touchdown.
That's Nelson again, and a flag on the play. Some people might have thought it was offensive pass interference, but the call goes against the Titans, and it's an early score for the Phantoms.
So Nelson and company making their impact in the opening quarter in Norfolk, and the extra point for the Phantoms will be good. So a 7-0 lead for Phoebus. Can Lake Taylor respond? They're used to this spot many times before, and they'll do so with their running game, as it's now Marquise Poole, but he'll see some tough defenders right there as the Phantoms beat him with Milan Willis right at the point of attack.
Yeah, Matt, you had to figure this is the best start Phoebus could have gotten against Lake Taylor, but coming right back down the field are the Titans as they score the touchdown in the end zone to Carlos Hinton, and just like that, they have an extra point try, and they're tied at 7.
Doesn't quarterback Shaheem Johnson look much more comfortable than he did a year ago when he had to replace Delman Williams, the injured all-state starter? And there's that Lake Taylor defense swarming yet again as the Phoebus running game can't get anything going whatsoever. Now backed up inside their own 5, and it's Jalen Cuffey with the sack.
Yeah, Kraft is going to be seeing red in his nightmares as he is hit again. As you see on the replay, not much of an effort to block down by the running backs, just too strong, and there's a sack right in front of the goal line. Lucky for Phoebus, that wasn't a safety.
Yeah, it nearly was. They ended up doing a quick kick punt on 3rd down, and Lake Taylor will take advantage here. Last play of second quarter, 3rd and 24, and it's Shaheem Johnson to Carlos Hinton to increase the Lake Taylor lead at intermission. And
that is a backbreaker for the Phantoms, as you figure you're trying to keep it to a 1-score game, but you find yourself down in a bigger hole now. Second half action, and the pitch is going to be fumbled and recovered by the Titans as they come up with a key loose ball leading to this, Matt.
That was Robert Vick scooping up, and it's Shaheem Johnson once again improvising on the run. Look at him go. He's going to scramble and hurdle his man, Robbie Robinson, as he goes into the red zone.
A great block downfield, and even better attempt at the hurdles by Johnson. As you see again on the replay, there's the nice comeback block, and for #2 for Phoebus, a desperate attempt to make a tackle, still can't get Johnson down. He's inside the 15-yard line for the Titans.
That's Olympian stuff right there by Mr. Johnson, and the Lake Taylor cheerleaders loving it as their home team looking to add to its lead, and they will do so on the quarterback keeper from Shaheem Johnson, as Lake Taylor now up comfortably in this game, 21-7 you see against the Phantoms, but Phoebus will strike.
And this time they go to the quick pass out of the backfield as Kraft completes it, and it's an easy walk-in touchdown for the Phantoms as they cut it to a 1-score game again.
Yeah, Jamari Becknell, 30-yard touchdown reception for Phoebus, and now that twin veer option pitch, though, for Lake Taylor as they come back with Dasmeen Palmer getting Lake Taylor back on the board.
And for Phoebus, it looked like they were running out of steam in the 4th quarter, Matt, and Lake Taylor, smelling blood, they continue their onslaught from offense as Johnson down the field finds a wide open target, and that's a completion to Dwight Kinnerly, and it's 35-14 just like that.
East Carolina commit Quinterly there doing it, and now it's up the middle. Lake Taylor's running game still mighty strong. Dasmeen Palmer, the Titans, roll up 304 yards rushing on the day, and they didn't miss an extra point either as Marquise Poole is money. Lake Taylor now pulling away from Phoebus like they did 2 years ago at Harbor Park.
A tough loss for the Phantoms as they get blown out by 28 to Lake Taylor, 42-14. Nelson, a lone bright spot for the Phantoms with a touchdown receiving at 93 yards. And for the Titans, Anthony Yancey, 7 tackles, 5 solo, 5 tackles for loss, Matt, including all those in the 1st quarter.